How's everybody doing today? How's it going? What's the title of this video again? I forget. You know the title? No? I'm guessing that's a no. Well, here we are. Living life. He's laughing at me. Can I help you? Come on, you're supposed to help me. What are you doing? You're a mime. Back when we used to celebrate Halloween when I was young, my cousin was a mime for Halloween. That's what you reminded me of. You know my cousin. Why are you just funny this early in the day?
I'm trying to see what you're going to do.
I'm going to talk.
All right.
I'm going to come up with something.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm going to come up with something.
Hey, shalom, family. Welcome, all praises. I made it here. I'm in South Africa right now. Hallelujah.
Congrats.
All praises to the Most High, yes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Good afternoon, good evening. It is morning here. All praise to the Most High, just being alive, waking up, seeing another day, seeing this beautiful face right next to me. It's just so lovely.
Thank you.
Everything.
You know what else is lovely?
Great.
The
life is just great.
Yeah, YouTube just gave us the notification of what this live is called. Thank you. YouTube don't never do that.
Shalom.
YouTube never does that, but they just notified.
Yeah, Ricky, you sent me that message.
It's called relocating with stability. Oh, that's what. Thank you. That
Black
was
Americans,
that would prove it. Okay. Very good.
But yeah, Ricky, you sent me that message, and I'm like, man, we gotta go live about this.
Okay.
Some of it. We're gonna talk about some business, how to leverage your business here in Africa, the steps that we took, and the things that we know that works. And we're gonna talk about what's going on in the States, obviously, with everything with the migrants and chaos and unsafe, unstable. It's getting crazy already.
Right. And your new person isn't even in office yet, so.
Yeah.
But I think the good side is that kind of pressure alerts, because without pressure, historically, you don't move. When you're too comfortable, you don't make wise decisions. When there's a little bit of pressure applied, or at least when I look back in my life, when I got a little bit of pressure, I make the best decision under pressure. And I think that's what Black America and our continental brothers and sisters that are in America are going to realize. They're going to be taking trips back home, already have been, getting stuff in order to live in a multipolar world that does not just rely on the West, because the West is not the best. The West is not the best.
The West is like a third world country now.
Yeah.
Like literally. So yeah, it's everything's heating up already. The videos that people been sending us and stuff, the videos that we've been seeing already. It hasn't even been a week yet. So
yeah, we were watching the morning show or the millionaire show, some kind of show with Anton Daniels, and it had over y'all should check it out. It had over 200,000 views in 24 hours. So this topic right now is a hot topic about the migrant phase 5.0. About how, and he shows this video, and I don't know why it's on CBN, like the Christian whatever network. I don't know why it was on there. It was just, I don't know. But he shows this video of these caravans of migrants from Latin America trying to hurry up and get into the U.S. before January. First they said they had to go before the election, but now they're like, hurry, we got to get in before the inauguration. This is our last chance. And they have this video. It kind of looks staged at the same time. Maybe it's real. I don't know. It just looks hilarious. But they have this video of these Latin Americans sprinting with suitcases up to Texas. And it's just like they just have the camera there watching. And I just think of like, you just don't see that in Africa. I'm pretty sure you don't see it that much in the Middle East and Europe. It's just like people running in, and it's like, it's just weird. It's just strange. It's just very odd. What do y'all make of that? I think it's just like you just don't see that anywhere else in the world. And I know they say, you know, people are flying into Ireland and England, but these people, they're on foot with their suitcases and stuff, sprinting in to the Texas border. So it's just like, okay, like, why? And why y'all filming it like that? It's just odd. I'm like, are they like paid actors? Like, is this like a cast? Is this a set?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's real though. It's real. Cause there's real people saying like, yeah, all these migrants in my community and stuff. And now just say, I know the information that I came across was New York. They opened their state for the migrants to come, and they gave them housing, food, checks and stuff to make sure they're good every month. But now, soon, you know, Donald Trump got elected president, they switched it. The mayor passed a law saying they're not paying the migrants anymore. So this should tell you like crime is about to go up because crime was already there. Crime was already there. It was already increasing, and they was getting paid. So they were getting paid to survive, right? So if they're not getting paid to survive, crime is even gonna be more intense. And yeah, it's gonna go down. It's really gonna get crazy because just think about all the people that you know, put Trump as an idol and really put him as a, you know, a god and protect him. And if you say anything about Trump, if you're not wearing that make America great again hat, they got a problem, right? Especially if you say something about Kamala or something. So just think about how they feel about migrants. So that it's gonna be a big civil war.
Right, because from the white supremacist point of view, what they've seen the last few years with that Biden administration, to them, in their mindset, again, I'm talking from their perspective, to them, they see immigrants coming in, they see all of these different melanated folks that do not look like them. They see that as a threat to their existence. And so you're dealing with the people that has never been logical in the first place, but already is under even more pressure to quote unquote survive. These are the societies that you do not want to live in this time, where you have Western nations that cannot replicate their birth rates, mostly European descendants and a few Asian descendants as well that can't replicate their birth rates. Obviously, a society like that is going to be under immense pressure and just a default level of hatred because they can't repopulate. So they're like, oh, I'm losing my grip. That's why you see the atmosphere that you see on Fox News with the election. That's the atmosphere. And you were talking about how you saw a video of a white guy. I don't know what state, but he had a MAGA hat on, and he came across a black woman. And what did he do?
Yeah, I don't know the video, but he was just yelling that he'd knock her out. And I'm like, wow, this is
just because.
That's crazy. Just
what'd she do to him?
I don't know. I really didn't see
being black.
Yeah. Just I don't know what they was arguing about, but it was a man versus a woman, and it was just like, dang, like people that really put Trump on that pedestal is gonna be tripping like this pretty soon.
Already.
If not already. So you gotta be prepared. You gotta get things in order. And we really believe, like really try to get things in order with the way you can survive outside of America. Like really get things in order, get your business in order, get your cash flow in order, monthly payments in order, monthly cash flow to be able to survive outside of America.
And thrive, not even survive.
Yeah.
When you leave America, you're not even in survival mode anymore. You're in thriving mode. You're in, now I can see how to invest in different territories. Now I see how to expand the business. Now I have access to a higher level of thinking, because in America, under all that pressure, it's like a glass ceiling. You can only reach so far. Versus when you travel, it opens your mind like, oh, okay. And I'll tell you right now, this is why immigrants like Africans who come to America, Latin Americans who come over to America start owning buildings, owning restaurants, owning businesses, doing well. It's because they expanded their horizons and went outside of their mental capacity. Travel does that to you. When you go outside your mental capacity in that way, you're able to see things on a new level and invest more in your professional development and yourself, because you begin to realize, if I do not invest in me, you have nothing if you don't invest in you.
Yeah.
What do you have if the only thing you invest in is food and vanity?
Yeah.
What do you have? Have self-control. Invest in your business. Put yourself on a lower pay so you can invest in your firm. Africans come to America and do that. Literally, our clients who come into the agency who left Africa and ended up being multimillionaires in America. How do people think they do that? They surpass the black community because the black community in America has an issue with self-control. Our people will spend on Beyonce tickets, we'll spend on all this vanity, we'll spend on this, that, whatever random shopping sprees. But when it comes to business, we're like, I ain't got it. Then the Africans come in, they're like, well, I got it. I'm gonna pay $6,000 to invest in my company.
Yeah.
I'm paid $52,000 to invest in my company, and they do it without looking back, because being in Africa, there's an entrepreneurial spirit on the ground. No matter what country you're in, people are raised to not depend on a job. There's barely any jobs in Africa. People are raised to be entrepreneurs. People are raised, okay, if I'm good at painting, I'm gonna sell these portraits. If I'm good at cutting grass, I'm gonna cut grass. If I'm good at storytelling, I'll probably become a marketer. If I'm good at numbers and business development, you may go into finance. This is how African people are raised, and so when they come to America, they exceed a lot of the different populations because they come with that mindset, versus a consumer mindset that's like, oh, I ain't got it. Victim mentality, I ain't got it. Somebody else got it, I don't know. Well, if you ain't got it, you ain't never gonna have it. You better find a way to get it. You better sacrifice. Everything, if our people understood the spirit realm, everything in life takes sacrifice. Having a family, being a mother or father, being married, having children, having a business, having property, everything takes sacrifice. And if you're somebody like, I don't have any capacity to sacrifice, they're going to be right where you are for years to come.
Yeah, because the time is now. You better, man, if you haven't, yeah, I don't want to say that, but you really, now is the time to leverage this USD, because it increased, especially what happened last night. The Fed cut again, and the US dollar is strong. The US dollar is still gonna be strong.
Wow,
I know it was so much talk about, hey, the US dollar gonna fall and it's gonna be gone. No.
And on this channel, we don't say that.
It's just gonna be the US dollar. So if it's strong now, you better leverage while you can, because you never know what could happen in the future. We know prophecy is going to unfold right in front of us super quick, but you got to take it right now as it is and leverage that. So start your business. Start getting that cash flow every month. Like, really, get your LLC, leverage that. Leverage the US dollar, like, really.
Leverage your ridership if you're a contractor. I mean,
it's really that time. It's really that time. And we just trying to prepare people, as we always do. We always come on here and try to tell you guys the truth, because a lot of people need to hear some truth and not no fakeness, where, no, this is the time to do it. Like, really. Because it's not time to sit around and just lollygag and be in la-la land. Like, it's not. It's really not. If you're serious about your life, if you care about your life, you care about your family's life, this is the time to do something about it.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Yeah, use what you have. Don't say what you don't have. That's great what you don't have. Everybody in the world has something they don't have. Use what you have and leverage it to your full intentionality, your full focus. Because again, when I look at Africans, whether they're Ghanaians, Sierra Leoneans, Senegalese, Cameroon, and they go to America, they don't play. They do not play. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
They're not used to that system, because in Africa it's a totally set. But guess what? They'll learn. They're not going to be like, well, I don't know. I guess I'll never know. No, they're going to learn and figure it out. and they're gonna get it done. That's the mindset they have.
Yeah.
That's the mindset you gotta put on. We put that mindset on.
And nothing's gonna happen overnight. As you know, as we know, nothing is gonna happen overnight. I mean, y'all willing, that'd be great, but it takes sacrifice, like you was just talking about, and it takes patience and steadfastness. Because if you be consistent about what you want, eventually it's gonna happen. Like really. So, if just say if you want to do 50 push-ups, but the first day you only can do 5, that next day I'm pretty sure you probably 5 would be more easier. Then you do 6, and then the next week you up to 25 or something like that. So it's always about consistency and doing the same thing that you really want. Like really, like if you're not consistent about what you want, it's not gonna get done. You hopping everywhere, doing this, doing that, it's not gonna get done. You really gotta be focused. Like really, you gotta be over focused now.
Yeah.
Because it's not time to play. It's really not time to play.
It's crazy to witness because this is the divide we're seeing amongst immigrant groups that come into America and surpass the Black American community.
Because they're so consistent.
They really are. We work with them in our firms, and it's like, man, I'm seeing the wealth being transferred to African diaspora communities that were not born in America, to Latino communities who were not necessarily born in America that are coming in, but they surpass our community. Because when you talk to them, they come with a different mindset. When you get on sales calls with these people, they're like, great, let's sign a year contract. Let's go. I'm ready to go. Their whole mindset about business is different. Because these people typically, if they come from different areas of the world, even India, because you'll see Indians do the same thing, move to Kenya, Tanzania, South Africa. Same thing. They're used to, I'm going to eat some chapati, rice, and beans. I might get a little broccoli. Might have a little salad on the side. The rest of their resources is going to their business. They are willing to live way below their means to invest. Way below their means, because they understand if I don't have a business, I don't have a livelihood. So that has to come first. Number one, it has to come first. It can't be any other way. They're willing to live way below their means. But our people will come to Africa. We'll do things like go on the biggest safari, go do this, then run back and be like, well, Africa's expensive. I ain't got money. From what we've seen, Black Americans, the issue is the mind. There's no self-control.
And it's crazy to think about, because I think about some people that really have money coming here to Africa and just wasted it.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
And now I'm still here in Africa and like struggling week to week. So it's just like, man, if you really got some money, if you come here with enough money, listen to the people that really been here to tell you, hey, you might want to do this, you might want to do that, to continue get that cash flow, because cash flow is very important. You can really leverage that here in Africa. So
yeah,
man, so many stories.
Seriously, because when you look back on it, then you compare it to the clients we've served in the agency, that a lot of them are immigrants that went to America and now do really well. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to reach back out because I respect that you moved from America. We're very similar. We have that relatability. And it's like, this is the issue in our community. This is the elephant in the room that nobody addresses, because most people don't travel to see how other nations live.
Yeah, and I think it's more of you got to keep it in-house. You got to keep it in-house. Once you got your house together, you can go outside your house and partner with people, because that's what I noticed with our taxi driver that recently traveled to Tanzania. He gave me his brother's number. It said, hit him up if you need a ride, because I'm gonna be out of town for this amount of time. If you need a ride, hit him up. So I hit him up. They come with a big van, a car bigger than his. So he kind of pretty much told them, hey, they have a big family. They like to, go shopping. That's pretty much they do. If they go out, they want to go here or here. But he kept it all in the house. He could have definitely hit someone else up and said, the taxi that's parked next to me, I have this other family, but he kept it in house. He kept it in house. So for us as a people, we have to really take care of our household first before we can branch out. Like really, because that's just how it is here in Africa and other countries. Put it like that. In every other nation, they make sure their house good, their community good before you can even reach out into the community, step out into the community. You got to make sure your house is good.
Wow.
And that's very important. Wow. That's the first step. Like really.
Wow.
Like really, that's the first step. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It absolutely 100% is. It's so interesting how you said that, because it also makes me think of some of our agency clients that are African diaspora, that are born in Africa. They will work with their African counterparts. They will work with their African American counterparts first. They will. And so if you get plugged in, and so if you're in a situation right now where you agree with what we're saying, you believe it, you understand that those are just basic lineage principles for the viability of any tribe's lineage, let's say, any nation's lineage, then find yourself what you can do. Because what we did before leaving America, at your job, you would speak to the Africans there. At my jobs, I would speak to the Africans there. Get in community with Sierra Leoneans, Ghanaians, Nigerians. Because there's a divide where you have to just, it's the scripture that says, let the dead bury their dead. This is the time to let the dead bury their dead. If somebody can't receive this, let the dead bury their dead and move on to get into community with people who can receive it and who you can build with. Because it comes to a certain point, if even the Messiah himself said, let the dead bury their dead, let them go, don't have any type of savior mentality. Let the dead bury their dead and go find some people on a higher mindset who you can learn from. Do not be the smartest person in the room all the time. We love to go in rooms where we are not the smartest people in the room. This is why we love working with our clients, love investing in our businesses, love speaking to some of the, like you were talking about, our neighbor that's in his mid-50s.
Yeah, 54, yeah.
Love speaking to people that makes us uncomfortable. So we can stretch our, oh, he's right there.
No, yes, he is.
Okay. So we can stretch our capacity, because if you're not willing to stretch your capacity, you're never going to grow. We can guarantee that. You can guarantee that for yourself as well. If you're not stretching your capacity and getting used to being uncomfortable, because you'll continue to see, if you stay right where you are right now and 2026 comes by, you'll continue to see these immigrant groups in America handle their business and exceed Black America. You can guarantee it. We're literally watching it. We're literally speaking to the immigrants that are coming from all these places, and they're literally exceeding Black America. And this is why we don't come with a knowledge business mindset. And the other thing that you were talking about with our driver that popped in my mind, how you were talking about he put his brother on. That's love. That's the difference. He loves his family. If you love your family, you check on them and you put them on. That's just basic. That just means he respects and loves his family. So vice versa is true. If you're not putting your family on, you're not respecting them, then you don't love them. It's that simple. No matter how many times you say, oh, I love them. Oh, yeah. What are your actions, ma'am, sir? So get into communities where they love their family. And for you, it may be, you know what? Love Black America, but I'm going to have to go get in community with some Nigerians and Ghanaians.
And I think
you can build with people like that.
I think from what we learned, and I guess this is just how we move now. Like, if we don't have it, we still just continue stepping. We just focus on the next step that we're doing. We don't look up and try to see the finish line so far away. If the finish line is so far away, we're not trying to focus on the finish line. We really trust in the Most High to just help us have the strength and faith and obedience to take that next step. And that's what people really got to realize too. Like, man, just step out on faith, because it's not your plan, it's the Most High's plan. Because I was just thinking about how we're seeing all these properties and stuff, um, and it's like, wow, I already know the next year or something is about to be way. It's gonna be better than what we can even imagine, because we just literally stepping out and doing it. So it's just like, man, this is what our people really have to do. Just step out. Don't look up and look at the finish line. Just focus on your next steps and just keep stepping. Just focus, look forward, and focus on your next step.
Yeah.
If you focus on that finish line, it's gonna feel so far away, and that's where crazy thoughts just come in your head.
Yeah, don't count yourself out. I mean, we've even had people in our location, they're like, oh, it's not affordable there. It's only for rich people. It's like, why do you count yourself out?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that your first thought, counting yourself out? Maybe it's the proximity growing up. I have very close proximity to wealth, travel. So there was never on my mind, there was never like, oh, I can't be there. I can be anywhere on this earth that I'm designated to go. That's my belief. And so if you didn't grow up with that mindset, you got to work to delete that mindset. And the only way to work to delete it is to take action against that thought process. Literal action against the thought process. Not just keep saying things. Take action against the thought process that's not serving the bigger picture. Because I think what most of us fail to realize is that you think it's just about you doubting. But you doubting embeds doubt into your children's children. You're destroying an entire legacy and trajectory through doubt. You're destroying an entire community, your own flesh and blood. It's like cutting your hand off, doubting yourself. It really is. Where you will not even hop on a plane to go see what's available. Where you will not even stay on one accord with something. When we first started our business, we said, we're going to do this for 2 years. And if it doesn't work after 2 years, then we'll stop. But people will do something for 3 to 6 months and say, well, that's it. Where's the commitment? And then you wonder why Black America and America as a whole has such high divorce rates. And there's a whole principality of disloyalty. And if you're disloyal in that area, you're disloyal in everything else. But everywhere else in the world, people still value marriage, commitment, loyalty, love, human things. Like, this shouldn't even have to be said. But it does have to be said, because that's how far the West has gotten. So it's like, exit out of that system and move into a humane system. Move into where they care about humanity. They care about children. They care about longevity. They care about strategic partnerships. And it's not a crabs in the barrel mentality. Move into a different system. Yeah, it's going to stretch your capacity. Yeah, it's going to be the most difficult thing you ever did. Great. You should sign up as quick as possible. When something's difficult, I sign up as quickly as possible. If it's difficult, I want to be the first one to do it, so I can learn as quickly as possible. Because behind me is 5 other children. So I need to be willing to be uncomfortable, at least for them. I need to be willing to be uncomfortable. And if you can't find that capacity, then, I don't know, you gotta find it in you. Like, you really have to. You don't have a choice at this rate. Because the rate that Black America is going with these different nations coming in and surpassing, and we say, oh, it's because slavery, it's because Jim Crow. No, it's because our community does not just first have love for our own selves. Yeah. That's why.
Because just from the beginning, we always going to be the bottom of the bucket. Like, really, nobody really cares about us, and that's how you, like, the Most High cares, but the Western stuff, they don't care, obviously, because the migrants come in and they get paid everything, but now it's still like the same thing. All eyes on what's going on and not what's really about to happen. So if you know the truth, and you just gotta really take care of your household and lead your household in the right way, because the times that we're in, we really got to be solid in the word. We really got to be solid in his love, like really, because that's the only way for our people. That's the only way for our people. We can't trust nobody else besides the Most High. And that's what I'm like. We see it. We right here sitting in Africa, and it's like, man, we really doing it.
Yes, that verse in Jeremiah where it says, "Cursed is he who puts his trust in man, and whose trust is in man, and blessed is he who puts his trust in Yah, and whose trust is in Yah." That's it. Because when you have that, you could go into any territory in the world, it doesn't matter, and you'll have favor wherever you go.
Really.
You could have a stranger drop down and favor you. Somebody you
Anyway.
never met in your life that just
Exactly.
wants to favor you.
Like,
If
really.
you believe that you're even worthy of favor, because a lot of people don't even believe that they're worthy of abundance, wealth, peace. Some people don't even believe they're worthy of sanity. Some people don't even believe they're worthy of health. Some people you may see, for example, you may see like, oh my gosh, they have a pool at their house. Oh my gosh, that's just overdoing it. No, I'm worthy of swimming. I'm worthy of living my best life. Absolutely. I'm the daughter of a king. Oh, that means I'm a princess. Oh, I'm well taken care of, well fed, nurtured very well. And that's how you have to move. That's the only way to move. When you look at the biblical narratives, when you look at Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, when you look at Joseph, when you look at all of the forefathers, they were not broke, busted, and disgusted and lazy. They were wealthy, diligent, and excellent with what they did in serving the Most High. And all of that wealth, all the resources that they had, they didn't even take it to heart because they knew it was Yah who gave it to them. So their trust wasn't even in that. Their trust was, oh, this is designated because of who he is and not who I am. So if I know who he is, I could never go wrong. If I'm in line with who my father is, there's not one wrong step I could take. Not one curse that could even breach the tip of my toe. Not one. Impossible. That's the type of authority, confidence, and power you have to move in. That's the only way to do it. That's how we got here to Africa. That's how we got here to Southeastern Africa. That's how we travel, we invest, we move, we do business, we expand our territory, opening another company, working with EXP Realty, having access to properties in Dubai, Ghana, Tanzania, Nigeria. We didn't write these things down. We just kept stepping into what the Most High, if he put it in front of us, why am I going to be like, no, I don't believe. You're too good for me, Abba. That makes sense. If my Father blesses me and sets a table before me in the presence of my enemies, I'm going to go eat and I'm going to go dine because it's written in Psalms 23. He said, I'm going to bless you and I'm going to anoint your head with oil and I'm going to set the table for you in front of your adversaries. Now, me personally, I'm like, okay, say la, I'm here for it. I'll go to the table and dine. I'm good.
Yeah, and that's deep right there because you got to believe it. You can't be uncomfortable with that. How you gonna tiptoe to the table like, oh, people's watching me go to the table? No, that's your table. You better go. You better go eat. Looking at you, they're looking at you, but you gonna tiptoe to the table? No, I'm not tiptoeing.
Psalms 23. No, we not
sit
tiptoeing to the table. Psalms 23. Look, we were reading Zephaniah 2 and 7. I believe it's 2 and 7. Zephaniah 2 and 7. Where the Most High, he literally says, and he says this all the time in the minor prophets and the major prophets. He says, I'm going to plant them in a good land. I'm going to turn back the captivity. They're going to dwell in Ashkelon in safety. They're going to have everything they need. I'm going to appoint it for them and put my blessing on the storehouse. This is a command that the Most High has given to the generations that believe in his word. If you can fathom belief in his word. It's a big if. And so with everything that's going on with the Migrant Crisis 5.0, the campaigns, you're going to have to make a hard decision that really should be the easiest decision of your life. Because I look back at our hard decision and it wasn't hard to move to Africa, to be quite honest. I mean, people always say, oh my gosh, it's so hard. I have to disagree. It's just not hard.
Yeah, and if you go in this truth, if you understand the truth, You know, it's all mental. You just have to get over a lot of stuff that's not. It's very simple. It's very simple.
It's not hard.
It's not hard at all. So
It's really
it's
simple.
a choice. It's your choice to get over it or not.
Yeah, I don't understand, because you will hear people, they're like, oh, it's hard to live in Africa. You gotta be honest, it's hard to travel. And it's like, you book a ticket, you board the flight, you get on the plane, you experience a new life, you thank the Most High for what you're seeing, you see him moving. I just don't understand what's hard about that, to be honest. I just don't. I just can't resonate with that. Like, if I were to say, oh my gosh, it was hard traveling from Tanzania to a new country, that's just not the truth.
Yeah, people,
It was beautiful. Do you see the view I'm looking at? This is
people,
gorgeous.
you know, it's really about the belief, like, because what you saying that, I can see people like, dang, what about the money? I can't book nothing without the money. But you got to know the Most High is all in control. He is all knowing. He is your Father. He's going to take care of you. Like,
I
really.
think, well, before we left, first of all, you have to be accountable. Like, we didn't hop on the plane and just say, oh, well, you know, we'll just fly out and we just believe. We took action to start a business, got the business profitable, and then left once the business was able to consistently hit $10,000 a month. We were like, oh, great, time to go. Fantastic. So you got to be realistic. I think people put on this spirit of religion and just like, well, just believe forever. But it's like, be accountable, especially if you have a family. If you're single, you can do that. But if you have a family, be accountable. The scripture literally says, my son, lead not a beggar's life. So we knew we wanted to move to Africa in 2015.
Guys, don't leave my phone.
And so we were like, okay, we're not going to leave America without having a business. And not just an LLC, but a business that's profitable, that has a website, that has a brand, a social media following, that has an actual asset in it where we can literally sell the business off, that has assets, building a personal brand, building a brand presence, working with clients. I mean, we worked with probably 150 clients before leaving America. We partnered with marketing agencies. We partnered with mentors before we left. So there's like this action that you got to put with your faith. You say you believe the Most High, but what are you doing? You have to do something. You got to do it. Actually, you got to do more than something. You got to have a spirit of excellence and diligence like the forefathers did. They're very strategic if you read their narratives. You gotta be strategic. Strategy is where it's at. If you're not a strategist, you better get around some strategists. If that's not your gift and your calling.
But it really is. I believe all our people are strategists. That's just what it is.
A lot of times before you can even step into your gift, you have to see it beforehand. For example, I was not always good at strategy until I invested in consulting and coaching and seeing people who went before me. Then it unlocked that part of my brain like, oh, I understand now. Because there's things that we've elevated in our marketing agency just in the last few years since 2022. And I only have those insights from working in corporate America. I didn't have those insights before working in corporate. So there's a practicality that's accompanying the gift. It's like the gift, like if a baby has a gift, let's say the baby's gonna grow up and be a really good gymnast. Unless they're training and practicing every day, they're not gonna get better. It's just be a infant gift. So are you going to be the one that has an infant gift, or are you going to level up and be the matured person that has a gift, that has the strategy, the insight? It takes seeing a higher level to actually unlock what you want to unlock. That's just reality. Because you don't know everything. You're never going to know everything. We're never going to know everything. So we consistently look for people to invest in, because it's like we're not going to ever know everything. We have knowledge, but not a lot. compared to what's out there. Especially compared to heavenly strategies with the Most High downloaded into Joseph and Danielle. There's always going to be more. And you have to be in tune with that. Because these, because the migrant crisis is really disturbing how the immigrants are coming in. It just is, because I can see in the future. Like, I don't just see it for what it is now. I see a year, 5 years down the line where the Black community does not have ownership and has even less ownership than it has right now. Because there's a recent statistic where there were a lot of Black people who started businesses in 2020, but 80% of those have failed. So I'm like, wow, that's worrying. That's disturbing. So what's the issue? We say it's a lack of funding, it's a lack of this, but this is still victim mentality. At some point, you guys stand up and say, you know what, sure, I don't have funding, but I'm going to go and find a way. I'm going to go and figure it out. I'm going to go and live below my means and do what I have to do. It's just reality. People all across the world have to do that. That's not new. Slavery and colonization hit the whole world. It didn't just hit Black America.
Yeah, like being here in Africa, like it's still hard to wrap your head around wrap your head around how someone could survive off of. Well, I guess it's different for us because we always have a big family, but just like a single person can survive off $300 to $500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's still hard to wrap my head around it, but being here in Africa, you can understand how.
Right.
Yeah.
And they take that mindset to America and find a way to try and do that as much as they can. It won't be completely possible in America.
Like literally $300, $500 a month.
Yeah.
Like everything that you need. Rent paid, phone, electric, water, food. $300, $500 a month.
And then the level of self-control, because these are the same people, they will literally go out and build their house from scratch. They will have construction workers come in and build their house because they're living on that amount, not because they're poor, but because they're saving for their house. And then eventually they'll say, okay, well, this is my first house. I'm going to go sell it and have another house. We've seen it. We've eaten with them in Tanzania. We're like, wow, it just opened up our minds so much. Like the mindset, it's like, okay, y'all not poor, you just save money. You live below your means just so you can save and put down cash when you want to buy a property or build your property and not have to pay rent. That's like a total game changer from what we're used to in America. That's unheard of. But, Indian people, they'll come to Tanzania and Kenya, they do the same thing. That's why you'll see that community thriving in the Swahili Coast, Southern Africa. People from Lebanon, I'm assuming they probably do the same thing. Mm-hmm. All these groups, because humanity outside of America knows how to thrive.
Yeah.
Without excuses. They don't say, oh, well, this was so horrible. Then this, who cares? Nobody wants to hear it anymore. You get tired of hearing excuses. Great, move on. Great, grow up, do something else. Figure it out.
Because other nations are literally coming here to Africa and getting their property, getting their land. Just even from yesterday, what the guy was telling us, it's like, yeah, other people from Africa is very interested in here. So stuff is, as soon as it get on the market, it gets sold. And it's like, dang. We got
from Africa,
yeah, from Africa. Like, people are not poor. Yeah. They got their resources and they make a way. And
they make a way.
Our people really got to do that because it's some beautiful investments here in Africa where it's like, man, why don't our people know about this? All these other nations taking advantage of it besides our nation.
Because we don't love each other. I mean, other nations, they'll give another person in their group advice, and by the seniority level, how experienced they are in that specific industry, they'll listen with no second guessing. But our community, you tell them what to do. I mean, you talk to some Black Americans, you can't even get them to be on accord with, hey, don't ship all of your stuff over here because you're going to waste $10,000. I mean, and that's just like a simple test that you can do to see if people are gonna be wise. And if you won't listen in the smallest, most simple thing that's gonna save you tens and thousands of dollars, how could we ever build
We'd
anything?
be like, look,
We cannot ever
make
build
sure you
anything.
get SoFi before you come over here. Man, we saw so many people struggling.
For no
with
reason.
their bank. Nah, I got my bank account, but I didn't get the SoFi yet.
Talking about $16 ATM fees.
Like, what? Why
And
did
you already
do that?
landed in Africa.
Yeah, you
Now,
should've
why
never
didn't
did
you
that.
listen?
Yeah.
It's an obedience issue. Ooh, you know, most I just dropped it in my spirit.
Or
Wow.
their bank account get shut down because they don't got a VPN on or something. Oh.
It's an it's a spirit of rebellion issue. That's what's wrong.
Mm.
If somebody gives you sound advice and you cannot help but rebel, that's strange. Somebody giving you advice to save $20,000-$30,000, to make $20,000-$30,000, to have more peace, to have better health, and you don't take it. That's a spirit of rebellion, because the Most High is like, if they act like with you, what you think they act like with me? If you can't even give them some earthly wisdom, how do you think they'll ever receive heavenly wisdom? They won't. This is the plight of Black America. Because I'm telling you, in Muslim communities, they don't move like that. In Christian communities that are from West Africa, East Africa, they don't move like that. They don't move like that. Only in America. I don't know how UK people move. I don't necessarily know that. But I know it's something that happens in the West, the distrust. And you just, I don't know, it's just that rebellion, you know. And rebellion only hurts the person that rebels. It don't hurt other people, because other people good. I'm good when the Most High downloads wisdom to me. It don't matter to me either way if you listen. I'm trying to help you. It don't matter to me either way. Please believe that. Like Yahusha, when he came to earth, he wasn't going around begging for everybody to come and listen to him. But he did cry in the temple and said, if you're thirsty, come drink. Like, why are you not thirsting after that which will never leave you thirsty again? Why? Why do you toil? Why do you toil for so little, but you won't come into the abundance of the kingdom government? Why? Rebellion. But rebellion is a spirit that runs rampant across America. Just look at the LGBT. Look at how the children act. How the children act is a reflection of how the parents act. So, you know, you have little Johnny talking about how he's going to shoot little Johnetta at 13 years old. But nobody says that's the parents. Why would this even be a 13-year-old's mindset?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And that's the West for you.
Why?
Like, and that's what we really try to do is help our people. We really try to help our people. And if you are a part of this nation and not trying to really help your people when you can, I don't know what to tell you. Gee, watch out. You really gotta try to help your people, and in a way that you can. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. You gotta get that spirit of rebellion, because I mean, with the Messiah, you know, he tried helping his people, but the rebellion was so bad. So you can't have the mentality of a savior, because it's just pride when you think you can save everybody. That's just pride. You have to understand when to walk away and say, you know what, I'm not going to cast my pearls before swine. I'm going to go forth and go into this other area and bear fruits. Don't cast your pearls before swine. So that leaves everybody with some stuff to think about as, you know, the inauguration comes up. This leaves you with stuff to think about as you think about moving to Africa, so that you can be in the right mindset of not being a victim. Get that mindset off of you. Just read Psalms 139. Read Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14. Just stay in Psalms if that's what it takes, and it's going to require cutting people off unapologetically. If they can't line up with what's written, cut them off unapologetically, because you just don't have time. You just don't have any time in these days. And feel free also to go ahead and see the recent video we did. My wonderful husband edited the content and gave some really good information on an investment property that we see here that's just very beautiful. It's just a whole vibe, y'all. It's just a vibe. You're gonna get all the vibes when you go look at the video on the channel. Feel free to check out the resources in the description. Binge watch our videos. We have so much free content available both for traveling, moving to Africa, and then starting your business before you leave America, getting it running, getting it profitable so you can expand out in Africa and invest in territory, land, you know. You can do a buy and hold strategy. We do buy and hold and build strategies in Tanzania. You can do buy and hold and build in Nigeria. There's just so many strategies that are available to acquire the land and to come into the promise and to come into what the Most High is giving his people and the lineage. Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you just do? Okay. That's a struggle. Oh no, she stubbed his knee, shin. Okay, y'all, we'll binge watch the videos and we will see you in the next video. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.